Hi, today I'm making a Rotel cheese dip, and my daughter, who was in college at the time, got this. It was very popular for college students because it's very quick and very easy, and she said everyone loves it. And so you start out with, and there's 5 ingredients. You're going to start out with chopping an onion, and I have this chopper here, so now I don't, yeah. It has 2 sizes, a large size and a small size, and I haven't cut an onion by hand for a very long time. This is a very wonderful invention.
Turn around so they can see that.
Yeah. This is a very wonderful invention, and it will go right in the bottom of that. And you just cut up your onion so that it will fit. You peel and cut it.
Does it matter which direction you put them?
No.
Or which way you cut them?
And they're just superior dice.
Yeah, perfect.
And I could have cut it a little bit bigger.
You just get this on Amazon?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. After I used Diana's, I had to get one.
Yeah, I've seen you guys do it, but I've just never actually watched that.
And if you're mad at somebody, this feels pretty good.
The aggression comes out.
Boy, I'm not feeling any tears coming or anything.
No, and you don't cry from this one.
So you just quartered it, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So all I have to do is
that and look at these.
lift that up. Beautiful onions, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so then the next thing you have is Miracle Whip, and this will be, I've pre-measured some of it, but we use a cookie scoop for easier measuring, so you don't get to
goopy stuff.
Goopy. And so this will be, this makes a cup.
This is a cookie scoop, and it's 2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons.
So 16.
Yeah, so much easier to measure like that.
If you had a larger jar, then you could use a 1/3 cup, and that would only be 3 scoops.
Yeah,
but that, we figured that's almost 2 cups. So if you're doubling the batch, just put the whole thing in.
That's right.
Yeah.
1 bottle, 1 jar.
A fork, just a fork. Okay, so then I add that. You just dump everything in there.
I like that there's no extra bowl.
Yeah, everything's stirred in here. Okay.
No particular order necessary. You just kind of dump it all together, right?
Yeah, no order. The only thing you do is leave the cheese for last, and then this is 1 slightly beaten egg. Whoops, a little closer. And then the liquid and the little bit of spice will be 1 can, and I use mild of Rotel. There's all kinds, but it depends on how much spice you like. I don't like too much.
Before you put that in, it looks like it's little chunks of potatoes, and it could be a potato casserole.
Not potatoes.
But the onions are
That'll
so
be
perfect.
a shock expecting.
Yeah, well, because my onions have never been that perfect little squares. It looks like.
So you can see it's got enough liquid in it.
Yeah. Oh, so the liquid.
When it bakes, it suggests that you use, you can use bread to put it on, but I prefer these scoops because you can get a lot on there for every bite. Get that.
So there's Rotel. I've used them before, but it's just diced tomatoes with the chilies in them. Green chilies in them.
That's right. And this is going to be 3 cups. But I will also stir that in after I make a
These
mess.
packages have 2 cups each, so we measured out 1 cup of one of the packages.
Oh yeah. So this is getting full, but it's supposed to fit in a quart casserole pan, and this is a 1.5 quart. Because I think college students don't often have too many dishes.
Yeah. Probably whatever you have.
Well, you could use a pie plate.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have to be a certain.
Yeah. So we put
Well, it
1
would
cup.
probably be 2 pie plates.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So we did the 1 cup. I took 1 cup out of the 1 package, and the second one.
Too bad you can't get a 3 cup.
Yeah, 3 cup.
But there again, I bought the cheese because it was all ready. You can usually grate the right amount that you want from a block.
And do you always use sharp cheese?
Yes, sharp gives it what it needs.
So sharp cheese, Rotel, an onion, and then
An egg.
An egg, and the big surprise is
Miracle Whip.
Miracle Whip. Several years ago, we were celebrating our sister-in-law Krista's 50th birthday in one of their local chapels, churches, and we were all there. And I don't know if you, Joanne, remember that being there, but I made this, and I didn't tell my brothers and sisters that it had Miracle Whip in it because we all do not like Miracle Whip.
We're not a Miracle Whip.
At all.
We're best food mayonnaise.
And Randy and Brad, and I don't remember you two, after they had like a lot of it, they kept going back and saying, "Oh, this is so good." Then I told them, and they went, "Really?"
They didn't eat any more after that?
No, they did. They kept eating it. They said, "Well, I don't think it's that bad." I'm having a little trouble on this little
Well,
thing.
this other can just be on the top, right?
No, it's supposed to be all
Oh, you
stirred
want it
in.
all
Yeah,
stirred in.
it says to stir it in.
Oh.
It's a little harder to dip if you have a melted clump of cheese, I guess. It's harder to dip it, yeah.
Harder, but good.
Well, if we're adapting this from a college student's point of view to a regular cook,
Yeah.
there's no reason you couldn't put this in a mixing bowl first. and
Yes,
then pour it in.
absolutely. Yeah, and
They're
probably,
trying to save dishes with
Dishes,
this
yeah.
method, and that works.
Yeah, and so
But it might be simpler, especially if you're making several
yeah,
batches.
I think this would be simpler, but yeah.
To have a mixing bowl.
Yeah.
But let's go with what the original
Yeah, we're
recipe
gonna go with this
says.
one.
Yes.
But I would recommend to
I
do it.
wouldn't have imagined there was an egg in there.
Yeah.
That kind of binds it all together, I guess. Yeah. Okay, there. I'm almost done. Normally it would take this long if you had put it in a bowl.
I'm surprised how much onion's in it.
Yeah, a whole onion
Yeah.
in this little thing.
Yeah. That makes it kind of healthy. It's based on
Yeah.
tomatoes and
And
onions.
Now, Joanne might not like the
I have
tomatoes
to pick
in
out
it.
the tomato chunks.
Has
Do you think
anyone
you can?
tried this with regular mayo?
No,
I wonder how that.
it might be worth. It might be worth trying.
Because we have to buy it just specifically by Miracle Whip.
Miracle up in a little
I
jar.
know, because we don't know what we're going to do with the rest.
Plus, it's usually when you buy a little jar like that, it's more expensive per ounce.
Yeah.
That's
And so
right.
something in us will make us.
Okay. I think I
That's
got that
right.
now.
Say, what about?
Oh, it's not
Just
as
wanna
good a
make
value.
sure the egg is all in there. Okay.
Well, if the sugar's off, I mean, if you're missing the sugar, what would be wrong with putting like a teaspoon of sugar
Yeah.
in with
Yeah.
regular mayo?
Yeah.
It's worth a try, but we're not doing it on camera, so if you'd like to risk it, let us know
Yeah,
in
make
the
a comment.
comments.
Just wanting to make sure there's no dry spots in the middle.
Yeah, that looks yummy.
Okay.
Well, it looks good even raw, but having raw eggs in it, I know I'm not gonna lick my finger.
I'm putting it in a 350-degree oven and baking it for 35 to 40 minutes.
It's a little longer than I would think too.
It's kind of dense. You know?
Kind of hard to wait for
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Actually,
So it'd be good if you wanted it to be throughout a party,
yeah.
to do like 3 of these if it's a
Yeah.
large party
Oh,
and
yeah.
keep
But I
pulling them
remember
out.
doing it in a little bit bigger pan myself, because you know how, not the 9x13s, but the one that's just smaller.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It seems like there was a little more room for me to stir
Oh, yeah.
in that one,
It's
because I don't have
probably,
this
yeah.
size,
Yeah.
and, you know.
So in that way you just
Yeah, 'cause
dirty
I didn't
one
have this
dish.
size. Yeah, but I,
I'm thinking
when it
dividing
said-
this amount between 2 pie plates, it would be thinner and it would heat up faster too.
so-
And more people could get around it because
Yeah.
it's round
Yeah, it'd
instead
be
of
easy for you
square.
to pick out the tomatoes, Joe.
So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is a very adaptable recipe.
Yeah.
Do you always serve it warm?
No, actually,
Really?
we served it warm several times, but we go home and refrigerate it, and we bring it out, and it still tastes
Oh,
good.
Just eating it
Yeah,
straight
the
up.
leftovers. Yes.
Maybe it has to be baked first
Yes.
because of the egg.
So
Exactly.
in a party you could just set it out
Yeah.
and not worry about keeping it warm.
Right.
And if you wanted to microwave it a little bit, you probably could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our Rotel cheese dip is baked and ready to eat, and we're spring it out with a few chips to taste.
My favorite
we
part.
use these.
Oh yeah, I like to have these with Tostitos because they're the scoops. You actually get this on your scoop.
It is good.
I really like the onions
Mhm.
in it.
I thought maybe they'd be overpowering, but they're not. They're
And if you want it spicier, they do have spicier Rotel.
Yeah, I wouldn't call this spicy at all.
No.
I would call it mild.
And it's not hard to pick around the chunks of tomatoes if you don't like chunks.
You may have noticed that our sister Joanne is not a fan of tomatoes.
My only thing that's a problem, right?
Watermelon?
Anyway, it's yummy, it's a winner.
I can see why this is so popular.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not had this before. It's delicious.